Welcome to the video. My name is Gaggle and this is the 9.10 patch notes rundown for League of Legends. So let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so first things first, we have Yumi. I'll be doing a separate video all about her. Let's see what we have here. Brand, E damage increase, ratio increased. Now Brand doesn't really see much play in either the support or the mid lane role at the moment, and this is it's nice, but it's not really gonna affect anything, so maybe you'll see some more Brand in your solo queue games, but I don't think this puts him ahead of stuff like Valkaz if you actually wanted to take an AP support. Now we have Caitlyn. W headshot damage increased, so she's getting 20 extra damage, level 1 on her traps. Now you do max this second on Kate, so you will notice this. It will go back to normal at around, well, when it's maxed out, but you'll not really notice it anymore about level 4. So, you know, rolling around mid-game, it's going to be at the same. This will be nice for lane. Caitlyn's already kind of in a position where she's okay if you're proficient at Caitlyn, using the traps, pushing her advantages. And this might bring her a little bit more back in the meta. Fiora, just some more like quality of life stuff, honestly, but Kennen is being seen quite a bit in the top lane right now, so maybe this, for higher elos or where this is applicable, this might, you know, help her matchup there, but it's still probably not a great matchup for her. Graves isn't seeing too much play right now because you want a jungler that is more active in the early game. But you know, he does what he does. This damage late will be nice, and he does max this first, so you will notice it. But it's probably not gonna do too much for him. So we Master Yi. We got a lot of stuff here. Master Yi currently is actually in one of the best states he's been in a while, at least as far as the average elo is concerned. You know, plat and lower. So okay, it looks what they're doing here is they're removing some of his damage. For example, they're getting rid of some of this from the Wuju style, the passive when it's off cooldown, and to make up for that, they are giving him less room to be countered if you know what you're doing beforehand. Now, granted, 0.1 and 0.005 are not very long windows, but those still were windows, so you know, you're sacrificing some damage for more consistency, which might actually make him a little bit better, but we'll see with changes to Rageblade further down. And the movement speed is nice. 10 extra percent is, you know, pretty nice. Not too bad. Alright, Riven. Most people have been thinking Riven is in a state where she is pretty strong right now. So they're trying to get rid of her consistent survivability through the Valor cooldown to affect her in hard lane matchups, it looks like. And to compensate for that, they're giving her Q a quicker cooldown. So for a more aggressive tradey Riven, this probably works out to being about net equal to maybe even a little bit of a buff, specifically for playing up and playing aggressive. This might encourage more Emax second instead of going for the W for the cooldown, just because now it's 4 seconds longer at all ranks. Alright, Shaka, what do we have? Okay, so people who play Shaka a lot, this might make, you know, they might have something to say about this, but this looks like mainly it's making it so you can't like mess it up in short range. It basically is what this means. So this shouldn't really affect his win rate, just consistency. Soraka, the last patch they gave her a lot of move speed on the Q, and now it looks like they're trying to make it a little bit more impactful as it was decaying too fast to be relevant. So that's good. I think Soraka is probably already playable, but this pushes her a little bit towards the top, whereas now she's kind of just around the middle of the pack of the enchanters. Alright, Tryndamere. There looks like it's mainly a nerf to AP trend. They kind of are messing a little bit with normal Tryndamere, but this isn't. The 1 extra second on your E spinning dash isn't really going to mean too much when you're already building stuff. You're going to get a little bit of CDR in your build at least, and that isn't really going to affect what Tryndamere is good at, which is, you know, getting to late game and split pushing you down until you have no towers. Let's see what Vayne has. Alright, so Vayne is very strong right now, but this change right here, it does a little bit, but it doesn't really nerf her too far out of the meta. The changes to Rageblade further down will hit on her too. But this is just, it's alright. You know, it's a decent, it's a little bit of a nerf. It makes her less good early, which is, you know, historically what she is bad at and what you can punish her for. So that's a step in the right direction. Xin, you know, giving him less cooldown on his Q, 2 seconds off level 1, that is actually really significant for your first few clears. Like they said, they're trying to help him out since, you know, now he doesn't have scuttle crabs to fight over all the time after the larger spawn timers. So this means he should clear a little bit quicker, get access to and still be able to reach the scuttle crab in time, and maybe even, you know, take some long and extended trades earlier a little better. So good, but probably not enough to make him like completely overbearing. So okay, this is all right for Zyra, but Zyra is kind of in a weird spot where damage bot lane is already kind of not a thing, just because you don't get enough gold to really be too relevant in most elos. But she is one of the better ones if this is what you're looking for, and this is alright, but most champions that this affects aren't seen bot lane. For example, you know, Corki's effects is not necessarily traditionally seen as a bot laner anymore, and whilst Misfortune's thing is nice, that's more of an old school counter, not necessarily something that's seen too more. So let's get into the items changes for this patch, which the Rageblade one is actually probably the most important change to the patch, in my opinion. So, but first we have Essence Reaver, giving it 5 extra damage. That'll help out its value for the champions that want to pick it up, such as Xayah, Lucian possibly, and maybe even some other champions, seeing how it evolves over time. Alright, so Ginsu's Rageblade. So the Phantom hit frequency has been decreased from every 2 attacks to every 3 attacks. So this is huge. This is like the main 4 users of this, Varus, Yi, Kai'Sa, and Vayne. 2 of them, Vayne and Kai'Sa, really do not like this because of the way their patterns work. This means that both of them aren't going to get much value out of it till their second cycle of their passive, which is alright, but it's not the best. It's a little bit less worrisome for Kai'Sa because at least she can still stack on multiple people with Runons, but on Vayne specifically, you probably will be moving away from Rageblade back into standard crit, and that should affect her win rate probably quite a bit. I would expect her to go down to about a mid-pack 80 carry. She still is good with that R buff she was given a few patches ago, but this is really what pushed her over the top and made her really strong. Hunter's Talisman. Pet Supply Burns. I'm not sure there's any... I guess Elise's Spiders are the only jungler that this actually affects. A little bit of cost off Runic Echoes. It's about a camp's worth of gold less, which is alright. That's, you know, it's a buff you'll take, but it's not necessarily going to break the bank. To be fair, Runons, or Runic Echoes, at least in my opinion, is not quite going to be as good as it used to be until they buffed the stats a little bit. Back when it gave move speed a few seasons ago, that was kind of a preferable stat for most AP junglers, and ever since they changed it, they've been trying to find a way to make it come back into the meta, and they really haven't found a large way. Alright, runes, let's see what we got here. Conqueror. They're nerfing the damage by 2% at the healing, and true damage by 2%. That's alright. This rune is strong on champions, but also it's a rune that it's used by a lot of champions, but there's only a few that really make it that only abuse it, that make it to that point where you would want to consider a nerf. So I like this just knocking a little bit off to hopefully hit the top end. So, you know, that's nice. Let's see, anything else? No, it doesn't look so. We have the skins, which are, you know, Riot wants to print some money, so anime themed, of course. and chromas, and that's about all. I would like to thank you for watching my first video. If you have any suggestions about pronunciation, maybe speaking slower, more clearly, any suggestions you would have, I would love to hear them in the comments, and I look forward to more videos. We're going to do gameplay, maybe some ranked games. We're going to explore some of the topics that were discussed in this patch notes rundown, such as I will have a video later this week about how the Rageblade changes affect Xayah, or not Xayah, excuse me, affect Kaisa and Vayne build specifically. So look forward to that. I want to thank you and hope you have a great day.